Alright, the next thing we're going to do is install our friction washer. Definitely want to install these if you take out that harmonic balancer. And this thing is very thin, so be very careful when you open up the package. And also, this thing is like super thin. Now it's going to go right here on the crank gear. Now what you want to do is don't put it up there because you don't want to take a chance in that thing sliding off. So take you some kind of grease or something. I have a lubricant here. And what you want to do is just put a little bit. You can put a little bit on both sides if you want. And that's going to help that stick into place. So just set it up there. Just like that. Okay, next thing you want to do is take your new crankshaft seal. And what you want to do is take using a brass hammer. Brass hammer is the metal is a lot softer. Now you're gonna have two sides. You're gonna have that side, and you're gonna have that side. So that's the side you want facing out towards you. You want to set it in there. Get it as much as you can by hand, and then just go around. Tap it till it's flush with the cover. Make sure it's flush all the way around. That is perfect. Alright, now let's go get our harmonic balancer. Alright, we got our harmonic balancer here. Get you a rag. You want to clean. Make sure this is nice and clean. And inside here, where the bolt is going to set in, take you a little lubricant so it just don't damage that seal once we put it in there. And definitely get you a brand new bolt. Now before I put this up here, you see that hole right there, the little opening?
Yeah.
And then, now what you're going to do is that's going to line up to, let's look up here on the front of the engine, this little opening right there.
Okay.
There's going to be a tool that go in there. It's going to hold that into place. So you're going to be able to spin it. You just, the thing is just to put that up there, in there. Bring the bolt in by hand. Okay, and just turn it till it's somewhere there. We'll get it lined up in a minute. Alright, the next thing you're going to do, this is very important. The tool we got back there that's into the into the flywheel that's locking it into place. Let me get a light. Alright, you're looking at the tool right now, and what we got to do is move that gear, that block back there down. Can you see it into the teeth?
Yeah.
It's in there?
Yeah, it is.
Alright, once it's down in there, we're going to lock that bolt down. So let's get that locked down. Alright, we got the tool locked down. Everything is in place. Now let's get ready to tighten up that bolt. Alright, the next thing we do is we got our harmonic balancer. We're going to loosen up a little bit. Turn that until that hole lines that hole in there.
That line keeps getting in my way. I might need a little bit of light. Up the top is just a little dark. And that line right there is not helping me. Okay, I see it.
Okay, I gotta turn it to line it up to where it's supposed to be inside. So I can't hardly see it, so tell me when you see it.
Right. Go back a little. No more. Right there. Whoop. Too much.
Wait a minute, let me see if I can get this tool in there. Okay, just like that. Then make sure that's finger tight. Now we're gonna go tighten up this bolt. First, we got 2 steps first. One is 18 foot-pounds and then 52 foot-pounds. So I have my torque wrench set at 18. So we're gonna go ahead. That's 18. Let's take this off. Now let me reset this to 52. All right, next I got it to 52 foot-pounds. Okay. Now for the big part. Let's get this off and let's get us a bigger ratchet. All right, the next step we're gonna do is we're gonna torque this down 90 degrees 5 times. Now, if you're using a torque multiplier, at this step, you're going to set your torque multiplier up there and set that in there to 44 foot-pounds before you start. That's just to set the tool, but we're not worrying about that. Of course, you can't set it to 42 right now, 44, because we did it to 52. All right, so we got a little degrees tool right here. And first, I got to set it down to let it calibrate. Okay, and right now I got it set at 60 degrees. And I need to bring this up to 90 degrees. Okay, now what I do is set it, it's magnetized. Set it onto the ratchet like that. Go up under here. Now this thing will beep, so I don't have to worry about it. Okay, and here's our first time. Now what I'm going to do is hit select. That's going to set it at 0. And then I'm going to go ahead. I'm getting close. Now, if I run out of room, like right now, ran out of room, I can bring this thing back. And it'll go off where I left off at. Where am I at?
75.
Yep, gotta back it up again. Okay, where am I at?
78.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay, that's 1. Now I gotta reset it and do it again. Now at this time, if you want, you can remove the pin, but I'm gonna leave it in there. It's still in there good. Leave it, and now this might be a good time to get you something else to, cause this thing going, this gets kind of hard to do right now. I'll get a bar on this or something. It's easier to.
Don't you have select?
Huh?
Don't you have select?
Yeah, when I get ready.
Oh.
Let me get a little pipe to go into this. All right, got me a little bar on the end of this, and let's reach in here and hit this again. Okay, let's see what we get now. I didn't get much at all, did I?
10.
20.
21.
What was that?
So it stops. You're at 41.
I'm gonna try to take this off so I can get more of a swing on this thing. Where am I at?
57. 63. 81. 81. 87. One more, little more. Stop. What? It went out.
Did it hit 90?
Last time I saw it was 89, so. And you went just a little more, so I would say yes.
Alright, what went out?
That was the thing.
Oh, let me change the battery. Alright, let me change the battery and we're going to do this 3 more times. Alright, we changed the battery in it. Let's hit it. Okay, here we go again. Trust me guys, this is not easy.
Wait, oh, okay.
Huh?
No, you good.
Dang, how many did I do?
18.
Dang!
Oh, sorry, 19.
I'm putting it on this. I got the bar on the end of it, so I'm only going to be able to do it just a little bit at a time.
$49. That's it? Wow. That was 64. $79. We're almost there. $85. It ain't going nowhere. Stop.
Okay, 2 more times and we're good to go. This thing is tight. Oh my goodness. Alright, let me reset it. Oh, you know what? Not yet. This pipe is starting to deform. Okay. Okay.
15. 28. 43. 50. 66. 70. 82. 'Slow up. 88, 9, a little more.
Huh?
Okay, it's good?
Well, it beat, yeah, beat.
Okay.
One more. Cool. Man, all right. I'm doing a little bit at a time, but man, this bolt sucked. Okay. There you go. Damn, that didn't move much.
11. 26. 42. 56. 66. 82. Almost there. Slow up. Stop.
Ah, that's it. 5 times. Now, let's go in here, take this tool out of here, and our pin up here comes right out. That means it's still lined up. Everything is lined up. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is you probably gotta get a pair of pliers. Our tool right here on the side of the engine, because it's probably wedged, really, crank is probably wedged up against it.
Oh, there it is.
Pair of pliers.
You have your light around? I can kind of see it, but
See it?
just yeah, the end of it. Yeah, I see it.
So, go ahead. Take this out and take out our bolt that's on the flywheel. Man, that is something else. So we're gonna take out this pin, and remember to take out the pin, the drill bit over here on the side of the engine, and that one's still in. Put the plug back in, and put the plug back in over there. All right, let's get that done. All right, we got everything out. While we're up under here, let's get our starter back in. Get this stuff out of the way. Get it set up on those studs, and if we can. Okay, this is not gonna happen. There we go. Yep. Getting them lined up on those studs, well, ain't no fun. Because you can't see the top one. Finally. Alright, let's get our two 13mm nuts. Now this one at the bottom is easy to get to, but the one on the top We'll show you a little trick, but the problem is you got to figure out where it's at. Okay, we got that one on. Get this out of the way. And the other one is way up here to the top. So we'll show you a little trick for that. All right, for that top one, what you're gonna do is get you a piece of plastic or something. Stick the nut inside there. 6-inch extension, and you're gonna go through the top. Let's see if we can see what you can. You're not gonna be able to see it because of the way it's at, but actually you're gonna have to use more of an extension as well. Another 4-inch in here, and you got one hand's got to reach up here and just grab where that nut is way up here. So you got to go way up here and use that to start it. Okay, I got it started, but I'm going to need another 4-inch extension, and then I'm going to tighten up the bottom one. All right, we got those two bolts tightened up. Now let's take the two nuts back off the back of the starter. And then we got one right over here. Take that off. Get our harness, and that's all we have to do is bring our harness over, and it just clips right onto it. Okay, put our nuts back on it and tighten them up. All right, while we're down here, let's get our serpentine belt on. And remember, we got our drill bit into here on our tensioner, so it should be real easy to get our belt on. Well, hopefully. This part right here, we're gonna go up to the water pump. That's way up there. Okay, once it's in the water pump, it's gonna go between the two pulleys right here, the tensioner and the idler. Then this side is going to go up around the alternator. Make sure that all the grooves are lined up. This one going to go around the harmonic balancer. And of course, make sure everything is in. Okay, everything is in. And what you want to do is take a pair of pliers, or what you can do. Let me get that light down here. Okay, you have an opening right there for a ratchet, 3/8 drive. Matter of fact, let me go get it and show you guys. All right. So actually it's a 1/2 inch. I got a 2-inch 1/2 inch extension with my 1/2 inch ratchet. You're gonna put it inside that little feature. Go counterclockwise just a little and pull your drill bit out and then release. Make sure all the grooves are lined up. Everything is good. All right, let's move on. Alright, now let's get our camshaft actuator locking tools out of there. 5mm, just loosen those up, and 8mm bolts on each end, each one. And get that tool, get them out of there, and then we're going to be installing the VVTs themselves. Alright, let's get that done. Alright, now let's get our VVTs installed. This one's, we've marked it L for the left side. So that one's going to go right there. And then we got the right one. And to make sure the plugs are facing straight up. Alright, let's get our 6 bolts in there and tighten them out. Alright, the next thing we're going to install is our throttle body. The throttle body is going to set just like this. Plug down here, and you're going to be using your T30 socket, and I'm using a 5-inch 1/4-inch drive extension, and you want to start these off by hand, like the top one. First one right there, Let's start that off. Bring it in, okay. And then get the other two. Start them off. And the other one is right there. I have to get a shorter extension. Okay. Let me see if I will be able to get this. Yeah, I can tighten that up with that. Alright, let's tighten those three up. Alright, this right here is a very important step, guys. What you want to do is take your marker. Let's just mark it right there. Now, this is an interference engine. What that means is that if this timing ever goes off, the pistons will hit the valve, bend them. You're just going to be in a whole world of trouble. So you want to make sure that is not the case right now. So what we're going to do is rotate this engine 2 times by hand. And if something is off, if the timing is off, I'm going to get to a point where that engine is just going to stop and lock right up. Stop right there. You're going to be taking stuff back apart. So you want to make sure you follow those instructions we gave you very carefully. All right, so let's go ahead to the front. And do not go counterclockwise. You're going to go clockwise. So you're going to rotate it. Oh yeah, nice and easy. Son of a... No, let me stop playing. Let me stop playing. Because soon we'll be upset.
Keep on, you just keep on.
Alright, so we rotating. That's 1 time. Now you're gonna feel a little tension up there sometimes, a small tension. That's when the pistons are coming up on their compression stroke. But believe me, when it locks up completely. So look at that, guy. That was smooth as anything. So we are good to go. And while we're down here, we got a little bolt right here. No. You know what? I'm gonna leave that alone. Leave that little cover alone so we can see this thing running from the front. All right, let's go back up to the top. All right, now let's get our harness over here. Now you're gonna see this little clip right here. Got a little hole in it right there. We got our valve cover bolt right over here. The stud sticking out. So we're gonna bring that around here, and that pushes down onto that. Keeps that in place. Once you got that set, then you can pretty much... what I like to do is start from the end, and I work my way around and just making sure I got everything plugged up. So we got our VVT over here. Plug that up. Underneath, we got going to our throttle body. Let's get that plugged up. And we got our other VVT over here. So we got to find the plug to that. There we are right here. And got this little stud, this little clip right here. Goes on top of the valve cover just like that. Plug that in. And it is looking good. Alright, now we can come around. Matter of fact, it'd be better. We got a little Christmas tree clip right here that goes into the valve cover right there. So you're just going to push that in there. Okay, come around. We got a plug right here that is supposed to be over here. Let me make sure this is right. That's going to go to our map sensor right over here. So bring that, plug that in. Okay, then we have our follow the line. First one, we got our cam sensor. Matter of fact, we're going to bring you around to the other side. Alright, we're on the other side. Let's get out. We got a cam sensor here. Let's plug that up. Okay, go over here. We got the fuel pressure rail sensor. Plug that up. We have our other cam sensor here. We gotta make sure we're going around here. Make sure this is not getting confused. Got it right there. Okay, then We have our 3 ignition coils. Plug those up. Then we have our harness that goes right here. This is going to go around. We got going to our evap solenoid and our high pressure fuel pump. And then we just have this little clip right here that clips onto that. Then we have a little Christmas tree over here. Pushes into there. And then our evap solenoid, it goes on this little bracket that sticks out right up here on the top. And it just pushes over. And pushes down into place. Okay, and again, one more sensor right here. That's going to go right here to the mass airflow sensor, which we're not installing yet. Alright, now let's get this right here, hook that onto there. Alright, let's move on. Alright, now before we forget, and this thing have a huge vacuum leak, we got one of our air lines right over here. And once we push this air line on, that's all you have to do is just push that blue tab in and lock it into place. Now this one right here is going to go right behind the throttle body. Right there. So let's get that plugged up. Push it on, and then lock the tab into place. And you are good to go. Alright, let's move on to the next step. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is install our first heat shield. Now on this heat shield is going to have this little bracket right here that's going to hold on the harness to the O2 sensor. And that's going to go right there just like that. So let's slide our heat shield down into place. And make sure, like over here, make sure this side is going inside there. Just like that. Alright, let's grab all our bolts. And, dang it. Start all our bolts off by hand, and then we're going to tighten them all up. Alright, we got that one tightened up. Now I'm on the bottom because I'm going to get the bottom shield and put that in under here. And this got 5 10mm bolts. Just gotta get the thing. As soon as you get one of them started, the rest of them will go right into place. But make sure you get those started before you tighten any up. Alright, I got 2 started. Let's get the other ones in and then tighten it up. Alright, we are now ready to install our 2 O2 sensors, and we marked them. U for upstream and D for downstream. Now when you put these in, get you some anti-seize, because this will stop these things from seizing up in there. And this is the downstream. Just put a little dab around the threaded area. Don't be putting it out here, you'll mess it up. Okay, then you're gonna lower it down in there, and this one goes over here. And you want to make sure you turn that in, and make sure the harness is turning as well. Turn that in by as much as you can by hand. Now you can cross thread these. That's why it's very important to go ahead and put these in by hand. As you can see right now, like it's having a hard time. There we go. It's not. It's this one, man. It's like it's in a bad position. harness is turning at the same time. You can see how the harness is turning over. I don't think that's in right. Let me try this again. There we go. Just want to keep bringing that harness out and untwisting it. Okay, that's perfect. Then we're going to do the same thing to the upper one, and then get your O2 sensor socket tool like I taught you before and tighten both of them up. Alright, let's bring both our harnesses around the back of the engine, and you want to bring it up under here. Up under the fuel rail. And if you remember, down here below is both our plugs. One brown and one black. So that's all we have to do is just reach down there and plug them up. You know, they could have at least made this harness come out here a little bit more. You're gonna have an easier time doing this because I'm trying to do this so you can see at the same time. But I would have probably been snapped this thing in there. Okay, that's one. Just lost the other one down here. There it is right there. Just reach around here and grab this other plug. Plug that in. Now we got this clip right here that will just clip right onto this hose. Hold that into place. And then as we come around, we have this tab right here. Now on your vacuum pump, you got a stud right here. Now you can't see it, but there's going to be one on the other side. You're just going to hook that up into there. And also, open this up. Open this up and get that other harness in there. So both of them can be out of the way. Okay, just like that. You're gonna feel for the stud around here. Okay. Push that on. Now, back following around this way, you got the bracket that we put on the heat shield. So this harness will just clip right into place. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is install this tube right here. This is our air tube with our mass airflow sensor on it. And, oh, I didn't see this right here. We got to bring this clamp up to here and tighten that up. But, let's get this harness out of the way. Get this harness out of the way. Alright, so we got this end of the hose. Goes into the turbocharger. And then the other end no, I'm sorry, my bad. Get this out of the way. We got this end will go over here to the intercooler. This hose up here. And then the other end will go into the throttle body. Okay, and we got a little T30 screw down here. Okay, right over here. Okay. So that's going to hold that down. It's going to bolt down to there. But let's first get this into there. Okay. Perfect. Now, let's get this tightened up down to there. We got our harness around here going to our mass airflow. Let's get that plugged in. That's good, that's good. All right, let's get this and then tighten up this clamp and tighten up the clamp over here. All right, next, let's put our little heat shield on with the little hot hand right there, then don't touch. Go right there with 3 10mm bolts. Then we got our expansion tank bleeder hose that's right here, that's going to go right here. And my clamp came off somewhere, and so I didn't really like that clamp too much. I'm going to try to find the clamp. I'm going to put it on. If not, put a regular clamp up here. So let's get those tightened up, get this hose on, and then we're going to install our big tube that goes. As a matter of fact, before we do, we got a 10mm nut here. Let's take that off. And then one back here.
Still can't see it. Oh, okay.
Okay. Take that.
That's for the hose?
Yep. Alright, let's get this other stuff done. Alright, now we got our big tube. We're going to go around here. This tube, make sure you bring it between here. Before we get it in there, on the back side of this, we have that fitting, that air line that comes out, and that's where this vacuum line is going to go to. And then you have on those, let me get this around here. You have that opening right there, that slot, and then you got one right here. This one is going to go on top of that stud, and then the other one is going to go on that one way back there. So let's get this around, and before we set that down on the first stud, okay, come around here for the second one, and here we got this. We got a vacuum line, the top one over here. That's going to go into that fitting. So might as well get that done right now. Push that in, take the blue clip, and just snap it into place. Let's get it onto this stud. Okay, you got this line right here going down to the mass airflow. So push that down. Snap it into place. That's good. That's good. Come around here. We got onto the turbocharger. This hose, the big hose sits right on there. You want to make sure that is on, because this turbo will not work. It looked like it went on, but I want to be sure. I am not liking the way that is fitting. You know, let's get this thing off of here, because we got to make sure that thing goes up there. Why does it feel like something's holding me back over here? Take this hose off real quick. There we go. Alright, let's get it onto that stud. Let's get this one down to that one. Let's get this hooked up into here. Okay, I'm gonna reach in the back and plug up that hose before we forget. Okay, going around and around. We have a little sensor right here. Figures. Let's unplug this. Get this around here. There. Now where's our harness to go right there? I got this plugged up, let's this plugged up, and you know what? I'm gonna find this in a minute. Figures, look at that. We got one. But it looks dirty. It might not have been one there. But we're gonna look around to be sure. Well, here we go. Okay, lock that into place. Got our vacuum breather tube right here. Gonna push that down until it snaps into place. All right, get our two 10mm nuts. One right here.
Don't forget to plug up the mass outlet sensor.
Oh, okay. Just hook this, put this on in here. And Sylvia said, don't forget the color. If you forget this, this thing will run really bad. Okay, snap that in place. Got a Christmas tree right here. Let's hook this in to here. Plug that up. Okay. This hole right here is where our oil dipstick tube go to. Oil dipstick. And you saw inside the timing cover, that plastic tube. Well, that's where that's going to. Right to there. Alright, let's get this clamp tightened up. The two 10mm nuts and the other clamp on the other side, and this is a good time to go ahead and put your motor oil in. This is going to be 4.5 quarts, so let's get our oil in there. Alright, put in 4.5 quarts, close this up. Now, earlier in this series I told you to put 2 tablespoons of oil inside the oil pump. Well, it's actually supposed to be 2 teaspoons, but that don't matter.
No, 2 tablespoons.
Oh, 2 tablespoons. Now, if you didn't, that's quite all right. What I want you to do is, remember our wiring harness going over here to our fuel injectors? You might want to, it just puts it to a Christmas tree. If you can reach back there and unplug that, that'd be great. Because what we'll do is we're going to crank the engine up, or you can find a fuel pump fuse. Should have did this before, but it's all right. Dang it! Just that thing just sticks down there. Why am I getting a hard time? Yeah. See, that's what happens when you be too perfect. Alright, so that ain't gonna work. I'm trying to get you guys so you can disconnect that. But just
I guess don't plug it up and put it back together.
Okay. Now I just gotta find the connector to that. And of course, I have no idea which way it is. Let me get a light. Alright, Yeah, the tab is right on the top. Push it down and unplug it. So that way, now our injectors will not work. This car should not start. Unless there's a little bit of residual gas inside there. It might start off for a couple seconds. Might. And then shut back off. So now what we're going to do is put in our coolant. And this is a self-bleeding system. So it's going to bleed itself out and you're going to fill it up. Come on to the other side. To the max level right here. And if you want, you can fill it up a little bit. Just a little bit more. Alright, so let's get that in there. Alright, we got that filled up. Let's close this off. Okay, next thing we're going to do is go over here and connect our negative battery terminal. And remember the harness we took off right here to it for the battery sensor. Alright. Let's tighten that up. 10mm. Plug up the sensor. Alright, and let's go get our key and crank this over. Alright, I got the key. We got it disconnected, so don't expect it to start. Let's get that oil throughout this engine. That's right, this battery was weak. So we gotta let her know about that too. So let's go get a charger on this and let it sit for about 10 minutes. Alright, we got our charger here. I forgot, I should have charged this battery up because I forgot it was weak when we first went to check it. So let's get this thing hooked up. Get the negative up over here. Positive right here. Move this up. And I'm going to show you a way how I know when a battery is dead. On my charger, when the battery is fully charged, it gets down to about 2 amps. That will be way down there. The more dead the battery is, the higher that needle will be towards the top. So let's get it plugged up. Whoops, let me plug it out. Okay, I'm on 12 volts. And look how high that is. I mean, that's putting out some amps right now. So this thing is definitely dead. And I actually can, if I put it to 12 volt high, it's higher. Now watch what happens when I try to start. It's going to crank over more. Alright. Well, that sounds really good. It sounds like great compression and all. So we're going to let me cut this down to low, to 12 volt regular. And we're going to let this set for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to move on. Alright, guys, we didn't let it set for the 15 minutes. It's been about 5 minutes. But what I'm going to do is crank it over again, make sure we get the oil pressure up there. Okay, now I gotta reach up under here and get this thing plugged back up. all the places, man. I do this thing right here. Oh, but that's already quick in the place. All right, here we go. Let's start it up. Now we may hear the lifters ticking for a little bit because, you know, that's what it was ticking when we got the car. But until the oil pressure gets up there, oh, it might just be good. Might have cranked it enough. That one's great, man. Look at that. Oh my goodness, look how great that engine runs. These are noisy little things. We got a lot of smoke over here. We had the catalytic converter out and all that. So this is gonna blow off. So what we'll do is let's let it run it. And just for a couple seconds, we're gonna sit here. Just let it run. Goodness, look how quiet that engine got. Oh my goodness. How does it sound, Cindy? Sounds really good. Also, there was a light on inside that said, or a message, low oil pressure. Let's go over there and check that out. All right, we got a check engine light on. That's probably because we had the actually I don't know whether that light on or not, but we had that thing disconnected for the injectors. But no oil pressure light. They had low oil pressure warning message up there. That is gone. Have our emergency brakes on. I don't need that no more. All right, guys, this thing sounds great. Only 78,000 miles on this car. So what I'm gonna do now is shut it off. I'm gonna go out there, check. Let's go out there together. Check underneath, make sure there's nothing leaking. Everything is good. Matter of fact, you don't have to walk with me. I'll meet you up to the front. Look at that, not a drop or nothing down there. This job came out perfect. Now I didn't get to put this on yet, but we have our engine cover right here that goes in the front of this. Actually, got our bolts in here. One, two, and let me just see. What the heck? You do this whole job, and then all of a sudden, oh, okay. I got a bolt up there that's gotta go. Oh, way up there. I took a bolt out, and then we're gonna put this back in there. You guys know how this goes. It's gonna go just like that inside there. Get right on the outside, just like in there, like that. All right, so let's get this bolted in. All right, this cover actually went this way, so make sure you get that on. The next thing we're gonna do, I don't know if you guys want to be here when I'm doing this. We're gonna put this cover, this shield back in here, held on by a bunch of clips and 7mm bolts and 2 7mm screws. Line this up and get it in here. We just did a little search, and we found that, yeah, the check engine light was on when we first diagnosed the car. Had cam sensor codes, some crank sensor code, but everything is coming out great. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this all back in here, bolted up. And then, see, this sucks. I have to actually get this thing behind here. Okay. Clip. Let's get this. What the heck? This thing got a clip holding it in. Okay. So let's get all this hooked up, and then we're going to start the car up and let it run even longer. Alright, we got all the clips in. Everything is looking great. Now what we're going to do is start it. Actually, I think it's this battery is, I mean, it's getting charged, but that should have been a lot more. I'm going to let her know she's going to have to get a battery. Let's cut that off. Now we're going to start it up. Found that Sylvia looked it up. There actually is supposed to be an engine cover here that quiets up those injectors a little bit more. But now we're gonna let it run, let it get warmed up, put the tire on, and we're gonna check it out later on together. All right, it's been running for a little while now. As you can see, the temperature is about, what is it? A little bit over a quarter.
Yeah, almost at the half mark.
Okay, we come out, see how, you see the R, is in, yeah, check out the RPM gauge to see how smooth it's running.
Okay.
Alright, now the first thing we're going to do is go to the back of the vehicle, to the tailpipe. That's one way you can tell whether a car has a misfire, whether a job is done. You go over here to the exhaust pipe. Where is it? Oh, it's right over here. Here you can see the condensation. See how smooth that is? That's very quiet. You can barely hear it. Now if this car had a misfire, like you see a lot of these car guys on YouTube, you hear like boop, 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 boop. It's all messed up. Alright, let's go to the front of it, front of the car. Look how great this car is running, guys. This is running. It's smooth for a 3-cylinder. Antifreeze level is good. Oil level is good. Everything came out good. So if you're doing this job and you're following our video series, make sure you go step by step. You miss a step, it's a good chance you're going to mess up. Alright, I hope you enjoyed it. We're about to drop this car off. Take care.